All right. I'm sure we will definitely have some last-minute stragglers, but let's go ahead and kick it off.
All right, guys. Welcome to the 4th annual You Beyond Mentorship Conference, guys. I'm going to need everyone to be excited because we're putting on a good conference, so the only thing I ask from you guys is to give me back energy because mentorship is all about giving back. And it's like my uncle in Egypt told me a story. You know, an American guy walked into a barber shop, gave him a great haircut. American guy left, came back with a dozen roses and said, "Thank you for the haircut." Then a French guy went into the same barbershop, free haircut again, came back 12 dozen pastries for the guy. He said, "Thank you, thank you." Now, my uncle being from Egypt, the Egyptian guy walks in and the guy gives him a free haircut and he says, "Hey, thanks for everything." And he comes back the next day, you know what he gives him? 12 of his Egyptian friends. So pretty much it's all about giving back, and that's what this conference is. It's about giving back. So one person that I know that has given back is our chairman, Mo Mustafa. Now, before I bring him back, the guy, there's not enough words to describe how great of a man he is. And, you know, I had to write it down because there's so many things, so many good things to say about him. You know, he's driven, he's a visionary, he's innovative, you know, he's changed, you know, this community, he's given back to the community, Mo, I can't read your handwriting, I'm sorry. I can't read it, I'm sorry, but, you know, to bring him on stage now, you're chairman of You Beyond, who has really put all this together, so let's give him a round of applause to start us off.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? Wow. Look at the diversity in this room. Every time I look at the attendees of our conference and I look at the diversity, I'm really so proud of you all together, especially the young ones that show up at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. I mean, that's really takes a little bit of doing, right? And there are some people who didn't come in yet, so I'm going to actually be watching out for those folks. So I don't know about all the things that he talked about me. I'm no different than the rest of the folks here that actually give back to the community and of themselves and share their experiences and so on. So let's talk about a little bit about You Beyond. Some of you already know about You Beyond, some of you may not. Our theme for this year, I'm going to get the physics right. The power of the past, the force of the future. Now, if you're a physics major, right, it's actually, you know, the previous generation has got the experience and the power, and the force of the future is the new generation that is going to propel the whole community and the whole generation forward. Actually, it's the rate of change. Power is the rate of change. I'm not going to get too technical on you, but the fact of the matter is that we're counting on the young people to propel the next generation forward. And that's what the force of the future is for those young folks that are in the audience. So our vision is simply to develop the next generation of leaders through mentorship, enrichment programs, networking, and creating opportunities to aspire and actually expand beyond just Atlanta, right? So to take this beyond just Atlanta. You know, our mission is you know, again, You Beyond is a nonprofit organization that really focuses on the development and advancement of this community, and we do focus on the first generation Americans and immigrants, but we're open for it to everybody. We do that advancement through a bunch of programs. You know, so we do that through a bunch of programs. So think of us as a platform that we and any mentor or any mentee can use to contribute back to the community, right? So what do I mean by that? I'll give you examples of some of the things that we do, and maybe that kind of clears up the picture for you as to what we actually all about at You Beyond. Before I get there, this is the board. I'd like to recognize my board. Those are the folks that keeps this organization going. A very, very powerful board that we put together that keeps this organization on track. So what do we do? Some of the programs, and this is just a sample of the programs that we do. We have one-on-one mentoring, right? And the mentoring is you're going to have a breakout session that talks about nothing but the mentoring experience within UBeyond. What exactly do we do when we mentor? It goes really beyond, that's where the name is. It goes beyond mentoring. It goes into sponsorship. And it's a joint venture, right? So learn more about that if you're interested in that, and if that's what you signed up for, the breakout session, you're going to learn a little bit more about that. So mentoring is a big, big deal to us. We have mentored many students in many different fields, right? And you're going to learn more about that again in the breakout session. We have an education seminars. We have workshop sessions. We just had one on sudden death cardio disease, right? That we actually had in Emory. We actually had a worldwide people attend that through our TEDNet video broadcast platform. So on that one, just to kind of step back on the TEDNet, right? We're using it to actually broadcast seminars throughout the world, right? And Dr. Latouf has used it very, very nicely to bring people to on certain topics, and now we're focused on the medical part. But there's nothing that says I can't take that platform, TEDNet, and talk about any subject you want to talk about. So if you're a mentor and you want to actually share your experiences, whether it's on leadership or finance, or you pick the topic. And if you want to talk about that, we get you the audience that are interested in your message. That's the platform that we have for that. So again, think of UBeyond as a platform for those kinds of services, right? So anybody can come in, whether you're on the sending end as a mentor, trying to share of yourself and experiences back to the community, or if you are on the receiving end, a mentee that want to understand, that want to know more about, things in general, right? Whatever you're interested in. We have our annual conference. This is what you guys are here for. And we have a wonderful program for you today. I think, and I'm not going to bias you because we're going to ask you questions, I think this is going to be the best conference we've had so far, 4 years running. I think we have put such a good program for you. I think you're gonna really be just marveled with what we have put together here. We have entrepreneurship, guidance and support for those who wants to branch out. We actually can guide you in that direction. There is a breakout session that talks about this particular item, right? With a very powerful panel. People who've been there, done that sort of thing, right? And understand how to get through that world of entrepreneurship, right? And then finally, and last but not least, is this piece here, networking. The old adage is not what you know, but who you know. That is so true, right? And this is really the cornerstone, the centerpiece for what we do, is provide that networking platform for you to get with a mentor or get with somebody. And by the way, a mentor cannot be old, and mentee can be young. One of the most powerful relationships that we have are actually students or mentees between themselves, right? So networking is not limited to, by, groups. It's who you want to connect with. And if you are perceived as a connector, you just never know. As you pay it forward, you connect people together, you never know who's waiting for you on the other side of the door as you connect people, right? So with that, if you want more information, we post all of this stuff on our website. So take a glimpse at this, look at some of previous seminars and so on. You're gonna get a flavor for what we do. Before I go, I'd like to recognize the group from Clarkston Men's High School cross-country team. This group here won the championship for cross-country, and we are so proud of you. And you know, in exchange for that, UBeyond is making a donation towards sponsoring you for the Rings of Championship, and we're going to be a sponsor for you. So could you guys stand up? These are the leaders of tomorrow, right? And we are proud for you guys to have won, and we want you to also keep up your academic backgrounds. Thank you very much for joining us, and good luck to you. One other thing that I want to mention, and I want to just give you an example of some of when you talk about networking. I just want to give you a quick example. There was a kid that got shot in Georgia Tech as he left the restaurant, right? And where's his cousin? I want his cousin to stand up if he's here.
He couldn't make it.
He couldn't make it. So Chris Mulrod actually was leaving a restaurant. He was working in a restaurant and got shot by somebody who wanted to rob him for what? For a couple of dollars, right? And so, you know, the message that came to us is we want to get him to the Shepherd Spinal Center. To get him in there, right? And he's been awaiting on a waiting list. Our team has jumped into action. One of our mentors, I'm not going to name the mentor, called the Shepherd Center. He had contacts there. He's going to be there next week, and we hope he gets in there. Those are some of the things that we do, right? It's not just an education piece, it's the networking piece, and it's everything we can do to help each other, right, as a community. So with that, I'll take it back to you. Thank you very much. Enjoy your conference.
I just got goosebumps with that last story. Mr. Mustafa is the only realm I can ever call him by his name, right? Is so right. It's all about sort of the broader networking, right? So it's not just about a job. It's about the relationships you build. So Kareem forgot to introduce us. I'm gonna knock him for that. This is Kareem Ayad. He's gonna be our one of our MCs, and my name is Nina Mustafa, and I'm gonna be the other MC. I'm here to keep you on track. He's here to keep you laughing. So with that, we have a jam-packed agenda, you guys. I mean, it is filled to the brim. I'm sure we're going to go over in some places. So I would just ask that as much as you can, maximize the event, but try and stay true to time so that we can truly see everyone and get the feedback from everyone that we're looking for. So after this, we're going to have our keynote speaker. We're going to have Ms. Selma Shalbiya come on. Then we're going to have our 3-in-3 networking session and lunch and learn with a mentor. That's our sort of our token here. It's what we do. And so stay tuned for that. We're going to have our breakout workshop sessions. Small break that may go away depending on how we do with time. We're going to have another guest speaker. And then finally, we're going to have Dr. Erica James close it out. And then we're going to give away some prizes. So make sure you stay here for the entire duration of the session because some of these prizes are actually really, really great and cool. I would like to go ahead and introduce Dr. Amr Lattouf to bring up our next guest. He actually has an excellent relationship with our next guest, and you know far more about him and are going to be able to give us some color to what he's going to be speaking about. And as Mo said, Dr. Amr Lattouf is a board member on UBeyond and a co-founder. So without further ado, I'm going to play the video first.
My name is Jacob. I'm 7.5 years old, and I will grow up in a world that's magical. A world where my doctor has all my medical records in her pocket, and the best medical minds at her fingertips. I'll travel in cars that know where I want to go and keep me entertained along the way. I will shop because it's fun in stores that know who I am and what I like. I'll live in a home that makes everyone feel secure and comfortable. Even Mr. Peabody. The movies I love, the shows I enjoy, and the songs that make me dance will be there wherever and whenever I want. At school, I'll learn from the best teachers, not just the teachers who happen to be near me. And I will learn my whole life, way beyond the classroom. I will work with people from all over the world, from the top of the highest mountain or the middle of the 7 seas. I will see the human race soar. Because when everyone and everything works together, great things happen. My future is going to be amazing. My future is now.
Good morning. My name is Omar Latouf. I'm professor of cardiac surgery at Emory University, and I'm co-founder of this organization, and I do a number of things in international education, and I travel around the world giving lectures on cardiac surgery and related other stuff. I say this for a particular reason, and that will become evident in a short while. Mo Mustafa gave me a list of things to introduce our highly respected speaker and his scholarly achievements and his accomplishment as a scholar at the University of Southern California, University of Illinois, MIT, and the many books that he has published and papers, and so on and so forth. But I'm not really going to speak about any of those. Sorry, Mo. I'm going to put those aside. I'm going to speak about Jack Sheth, the friend that I know. I have never taken a course or a class with Jag, but I'm a student of Jag. I became a student of Jag in 1991, the day Jag came to Emory, and I met with him. And since then, I have become a student of Jag. I invited Jag to Geneva in 1994 to give a talk about telemedicine to participants from 34 countries and the World Health Organization. And Jag gave an outstanding futuristic talk about the future of telemedicine, all of which became true today. Move forward, in 2005, I invited Jag to speak at a conference in Atlanta about the advancement of about advancement in healthcare. There were 187 speakers. 2 of those speakers scored 5 out of 5. Jag was the number 1 speaker. The second one was our last year speaker, Tony Sharaf. Jag is not particularly a very tall guy, but he's truly a giant amongst giants. Jag is a living giant today in marketing, in education, in predicting the future of not only business, not only marketing, but practically every discipline. I will travel across the globe to see Jag, to meet Jag, to listen to Jag, to learn from Jag. I say that to you, realizing that today you will learn something from Jag that you will remember for the rest of your life, that today will be a tilting point for you when you hear Jag speak. I say that, and I am sure that you will go away realizing that Jag will have left his imprints on your life like he has left imprints on my life, and I have become a student of Jag at my very accomplished age. Jag, I can never be more grateful to you than I am now.